Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Step 41. In order for a form's data to be accessed by the location specified in the actual attribute, you must give the text field a name attribute and assign a value to represent the data being submitted. Here is an example of an input element with a name attribute. So the example, we have an input type, which is text, and the name set name. So we're going to add name attribute with the value cattle photo URL to our text field. So we'll do that right now. Okay. Name is to cat photo URL. So click submit and we're good. Next. So step 42. Placeholder text is used to give people a hint about what kind of information to enter into an input. Here is an example of an input element with a placeholder set to X, Jane Doe. Okay, so this example has the input type text, the placeholder X, Jane Doe. So we're gonna add the placeholder text cat photo URL to our input element. Alright, let's go. So we'll do placeholder cat photo URL. Alright. So if you can see or zoom in, you can see the text. This is a placeholder. We can't. If we type it will disappear, alright? But the placeholder text is just that text that's going to be in the place of the form, so that users can know what to put in that form. Yeah. So click next. Oh, sorry, your code does not pass. Keep trying. Your input element should have a placeholder attribute. Okay, well, that's what we have here. Oh, we spelled it. Photo. Yeah, it's correct. Next. See, this is easy. Now zoom out. Okay, so step 43. To prevent a user from submitting your form when required information is missing, you need to add the required attribute to an input element. Here is an example of an input field with the required attribute. Input type text, name, first name, and this is required. So the required attribute helps us like to make the information necessary into that form field. So if you put your text or your information in that form, it's going to require. Without that information, that form is not. Without that information, that form won't work. Alright, so there's no need to set a value to the required attribute. Instead, just add the word required to the input element, making sure there is space between it and other attributes. Okay, we'll do that. It's good. So required attribute just allows the user to like not have access to an empty form, because if the form is empty, the user will just try and submit it, but it's not going to work. That's the work of required attribute, just like it's a safeguard just for users not to submit empty forms. Yeah. Okay. So step 44. The button element is used to create a clickable button. So we're gonna add a button element with the text submit below the input element. The default behavior of clicking a form button without any attributes submits the form to the location specified in the form's actions attribute. Okay, so let's create a button element. So writing submit. Okay. Check my form. This is our button. Yeah, looks good. Go next. Okay, so step 45. Even though you added your button below the text input, they appear next to each other on the page. That's because the both input and button elements are inline elements, which don't appear on new lines. The button you added will submit the form by default. However, relying on default behavior because confusion. So add the type attribute with the value submit to the button to make it clear that it's a submit button. Okay, so we're gonna add the type attribute. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Right, submit. Right? Correct. Yeah, this is a submit button. So the type just specifies that this, oh my god, that this particular button is going to be a submit button. Alright, so we'll go to the next challenge. So step 46. Alright, you can use radio buttons for questions where you want only one answer out of multiple options. Here is an example of a radio button with the text set as cat. Excuse me. Sorry, let's just turn this off. Okay, that's good. Alright, so the example is input type radio cat. Remember that an input element is a void element. Before the text input, add a radio button with the text set as indoor. Alright. Before the text input, add a radio button with the text set as indoor. Okay, let's do that. We'll create this void element is type. Create a radio. Close it. And set it as indoor. Wow, that looks good. This is a radio button. Wow. Okay. So submit it. And it's good. Let's go. So step 47. Label elements are used to help associate the text for an input element with the input element itself. especially for assistive technologies like screen readers. Here is an example of a label element with a radio button. Label, input type, radio, cat. Right. Okay. In the example, clicking the word cat also select the radio button. Next we're going to nest our radio button inside the label element. So label elements are used to help associate the text for an input element with the input element itself. Alright, makes sense, I understand that. Alright, let's go. That looks good. Next challenge. Alright, step 48. The ID attribute is used to identify specific HTML elements. Each ID attribute's value must be unique from all other ID values for the entire page. Here is an example of an input element with the ID attribute. Our example is input ID email. An ID attribute with the value indo to the radio body. We're going to add this attribute indo. Alright, when elements have multiple attributes. Okay, this is good. Go next. There was no capital letter I. Okay. Good. Alright, step 49. We're going to create another radio button below the first one. We're going to nest inside the label element with the outdoor as the label text. We'll give the radio button ID attribute with outdoor as the value. Okay, we'll create another ID element. Create another radio button right now. So first off, we create our input. Specify the type. Radio. Our radio. The text is outdoor. Put inside label. Inside label. And then we'll give it an ID attribute outdoor. Easy. Okay, click next. Good, we're done. Step 50. Notice that both the radio buttons can be selected at the same time. To make it so, selecting one radio button automatically deselects the other. Both buttons must have a name attribute with the same value. Here is an example of two radio buttons with the same name attribute. The example code they have here: input type radio, name, meal, breakfast. Another one, input type radio, name, meal, lunch. Alright, so we're gonna add the name attribute with the value indoor, outdoor to both radio buttons. Sure. Let's go. Indoor, outdoor. Copy this. Copy it to everything here. Tutorial. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up, give me a comment, and we'll see you next time.